And the goalkeepers tonight, Eddie Giacomin in goal for the New York Rangers. And for the Toronto Maple Leafs, number 30, Bernie Parent is starting tonight. And at center ice for the New York Rangers will be Walter Tkachuk and Dave Malone on the left wing and Nevin on the right. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's Ullman, Henderson, and Ellis, along with Baun and Dory. Brad Park is on the defense with Horton for the New York Rangers, and we're all set to start this first period, and the puck goes back to Brad Park. Back over to Horton, up to Tkachuk at center. He's watched by Dory. Tkachuk will try it again. Malone fell. Horton moves up to center ice. A pass for Tkachuk. Hit by Baun, and Ullman comes back. Ullman watched by Tkachuk. Flipped it over to Dory. Dory moves up now with Henderson. Henderson takes the pass, and he was checked nicely by Brad Park. Brad Park. A pass up at center for Tkachuk. He's over the blue line, and he tried to set up Nevin, and it was shot off the glass, but not out by the Leafs. Ullman wraps it to Ellis. Ellis turning at his own blue line. Malone had a piece of him, but he gets it to Ullman over to Henderson. Henderson a long shot. Giacomin caught that. Goes into the corner for Malone. Malone centered it out to Horton. Horton, number 3, starts up for the New York Rangers. He's going up over the center red line, and he shot it in, and Parent came out of the net to pick it off and flip it behind the goal. They go to the boards for the puck. There's 4 of them in there, and Ullman comes up with it. Ullman watched by Malone. Malone has him covered. Dory goes back of the net to help him out. Dory picking his way out now for the Leafs. Up to Ellis. Ellis a long pass to Henderson. Henderson gets over the line. Offside was Ellis on the right wing as the Leaf player fell. No score in this first period. We have 18:41 remaining. Second game of the quarterfinals between the New York Rangers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, with the Rangers leading in the series 1-0. Shot into the Leaf zone, and that's Gary Monahan, number 20, who is knocked out of the play, but Rick Lee gets it back of the net. The Rangers trying to center with Rattel. Monahan and Rattel, and then McKenny comes up with it, number 18. McKenny down the right wing over the blue line, up at center. A pass into the corner. Keon after the rebound. He's got it. Oh, and he just missed the corner with his shot. It's cleared back out to center. Rattel over for Joe Bear. He's over the blue line. He stops. Centered it right in front of the net. McKenny gives it to McMillan. Bill McMillan, who's handed out the stiffest check of the series against Brad Park in the first period last night. Playing another strong game for the Maple Leafs as the puck is cleared into the New York Rangers zone, and Hetfield goes back for it. Number 11, back of the net. Into the corner with a pass to Joe Bear. Stopped by Keon to Monahan. Monahan turns. He's got it over for McKenny. McKenny shot it around back of the net. Giacomin giving it to Nielsen. Jimmy Nielsen, number 15. It's stopped by McKenny. Keeps it in. McKenny takes his shot, and he fired it wide, and Giacomin covers up.
As Bill mentioned, start of the game, Bernie Parent in goal for the Leafs, and we're taking a look at Eddie Giacomin, who's returning in the second game for the Rangers. Other than that, the lineups are the same as they were last night. Brad Selwood sitting out for the Leafs, and Jack Eager sitting out for the Rangers.
All set to go. The puck goes into the corner. Horton is hit by Harrison, number 12. Kicked the puck loose. Picked up by Peter Stemkowski. Stemkowski gives it to Irvin, number 27, up at center with McGregor. Shot the puck in wide of the net. It goes back in the goal. Parent is under the net. McGregor trying to set up Brad Park, and Armstrong can't get out. McGregor set it and shot! And that was off the target by Irvin. A shot by Horton, and Parent's got it and holds onto it. Facing off in the Maple Leafs zone to the left with 17 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first period. There's no score. And as you can hear, a very enthusiastic sellout crowd at Madison Square Garden tonight. There's Harrison getting the draw to Dory. Dory off the boards to Baun. Baun off the boards for Armstrong. Armstrong tapped it out the center ice. A race for it. Horton gets it ahead to Irvin. Irvin of New York for Stemkowski. He and Baun collided together, and there's going to be a penalty to Baun for interference.
as it was being passed to him by Ted Irvin.
For interference, 2 minutes. The time, 3:11.
Bobby Bond, number 21 in the penalty box. 3 minutes and 11 seconds is the time. There's the Maple Leaf bench, which from our advantage point is on the opposite side of the ring. And there's Peter Demkowski getting equipment fixed up. The Rangers have the odd man, and the puck is back in the New York Rangers zone for Brad Park. Park takes a look. He's got Walter Tkachuk on his right. Moving up fast with him also is Jimmy Nielsen, Balone, and Nevin. The pass for Nevin goes all the way to Perron, and he shot it off the glass, and it caromed into the crowd and pushed back again, and that's where play ends. Face off in the Leaf zone to the right. Linesman Pat Shetler, number 20, will do the honors in the Leaf zone with the Rangers having a man advantage. Bob Bond serving an interference penalty. And there's no score in this game with 16:28 remaining. Perron talks to Dennis DePere, number 17. And from the faceoff, the Rangers win the draw back, and a shot by Park is off the target, and Pelech gets the rebound out to center ice. Brad Park takes a look at center, posts it over to Nielsen, number 15. He's over the blue line. They're closing in. A drop pass, and Dennis DePere failed to get it out. Here's Tkachuk getting a chance, number 18. And Dennis DePere got in front of that. Brad Park trying again. DePere after him. Passed it backwards. Still kept in by the Rangers. Here's Brad Park. Takes the shot. That's not that. It goes to McKenny around Armstrong. Armstrong takes a look. Can't get it out. Tkachuk along the boards for Balone, and Armstrong fell along the boards. And from our end zone camera, you get a good look at what happened right along the boards.
There's Dave Balone, number 17, who was Rangers' top goal scorer this year, as he put in 36 goals to go with 24 assists for a 60-point season. He's 10 points off his last year total of 70, but he boosted his goal output by 3.
Rangers keeping the puck in the Leaf zone. There's no score in the game, and the Rangers with a man advantage. Park gets it back to Nielsen. Here comes the shot. Ron got his toe in the way of that, and it goes up into the crowd. 15 minutes, 40 seconds remain in the first period. It's scoreless. 51 seconds left in the penalty to Bob Bond. Keon out there now with McMillan, McKenny, and Pelech. Rattel, Hatfield, Gilbert, Nielsen, and Park. Rod Gilbert takes a look in the corner. Now he's trying to work it out in front. He did, and McKenny intercepts. McKenny goes down the ice with Keon, the center. McKenny over for McMillan. McMillan dropped it, intending for Keon. Rangers over the line. Rattel drops it to Gilbert, a shot. And Pelech got a skate in the way of it. Pelech then falls with the puck underneath him. Play is called.
Mike Pelech coming across and just getting a stick in front of that booming shot by Rod Gilbert, enough to deflect it past the Leaf goal. Great move by Pelech.
.28 seconds now remaining in Bond's penalty. Now out there is Dale Roloff, number 5, playing with Horton on the defense. And Emil Francis starting to juggle his lineup early in this hockey game. There's no score as Horton lets a shot go. It's Lees dropping in front of it. Rolf let his shot go. Down went McMillan. It goes out and down the ice. Going back for it is Horton, and they're starting to put the body to it. And John Rattel is starting out, number 19, for the New York Rangers at his own blue line. Up over the red line at center. Shot it over to Hatfield. Hatfield goes into the corner. He's jammed there by McMillan. McMillan gives him another shove. Bond is back on the ice. Lee took Hatfield into the boards. Then for Bond, a pass to Keon. Keon trying to break through the defense. He's dumped by Horton. There's going to be a penalty there to Tim Horton. And 32 seconds remaining in the first period. There's no score in this second game of the quarterfinals. But the New York Rangers leading the series 1-0 by virtue of their victory last night here in Madison Square Garden, 5-4. Brad Park over to Bob Nevin. Nevin over the blue line, coming up at center. A pass for Kachuk. He's over the line. Kachuk waits, takes his shot. That was knocked down by Rick Lee, who got in front of it. Lee takes a look, fired it, but not out. There's Nielsen's shot, and that was just off the target, and Keon shoots it down the ice. Jackman to Brad Park. Park takes a look. Shot it for Kachuk. Out at center to Ballone. Dave Ballone over the red line, up to the blue line. Keon's got it. Keon gets it ahead for Harrison and went over his stick down into the Ranger zone, and Nielsen goes back to cover up. Leafs back at full strength. Jimmy Nielsen coming out. Shot it into the late zone, and Rick Lee is there. Rick Lee off the boards for Keon, broken up by Rolf. Rolf goes into the corner, centered it across the goal mouth. Pellick shot it back to Lee. Lee is checked by Ballone. Nevin trying to center it. Ballone has it. Centered it back and down the ice between Rolf and Horton, and Henderson goes after Horton. Took him out of the play, but the puck went to Kachuk, who got back, and Rolf feeds it for Ballone, nowhere near him. Shot back into the Ranger zone now as Ellis, Ullman, and Henderson are out there. Horton trying to come out. He's checked by Ellis. Rolf shot it into the corner for Ballone. Ellis gets a hold of it. He was checked, and Walter Kachuk comes up with it. Walter Kachuk, as the tempo of the game has slowed down somewhat with a close checking. Now then Rolf. Up at center. Ullman failed to check him. Rolf shot the puck into the Leaf zone. Perrant let it go to Lee. Lee takes a look. Shot it right onto Rolf's stick. Rolf's pass. Ullman tried to get a hold of. Knocked into the Rangers zone, and it's Walter Kachuk. Ullman covered him. Ullman gets the puck momentarily. Took a whack at it. Goes after it again. Rolf knocked it to the blue line, but not out. Pellick took his shot. Ellis went after the rebound. Still has it right in front for Ullman. Broken up by Kachuk. Walter Kachuk to center. Takes a long shot. Perrant stopped that. Flipped it into the corner, and Rick Lee and Mike Pellick. Mike Pellick going racing down the left wing. He's over the line. Tried to go through. Sealing stopped him. Ellis covered Nielsen. Ullman was checked by Peter Stamkowski, number 21, and we have 8 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the first period. There's no score. Down the ice for number 27, Ted Irvin. He and Vaughn shoved together. Dory into Sittler. He just kicked it back of the net. And Vaughn shot it back to Sittler. Sittler and Harrison. A pass for Harrison. He flips the puck into the Ranger zone. McGregor got it around on the board. Spencer. And Irvin shoved together. Now Spencer gets into a mix-up with Irvin. And they go down along the board. Referee Lloyd Gilmore has indicated misconducts as well. And that cools them out quickly. Number 27, Ted Irvin, and number 15 of the Maple Leafs, Brian Spencer. 5 minutes each for fighting and a 10-minute misconduct penalty to both of them. That's a full 15 minutes. Offsetting major penalties, and of course, they're allowed substitution. Well, the goalie, they didn't take long to indicate to the players what's going to happen when they start this stuff.
Well, just prior to that, we'd seen the pattern developing of the Rangers doing that forechecking. That was Brian Spencer's first appearance regular out there.
11:56 is the time as McMillan takes a shot right on. Jackaman's got that, and Keon was right on the doorstep, and Jackaman just held on to it. 7 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the first period, and there's no score in this second game of the quarterfinals. Keon lost the draw to Rattel, has got it to Brad Park. Park back of the New York Ranger goal. He gets it out in front to Horton. Horton ahead to Hatfield. Hatfield over the blue line, up with Rattel at center. A long shot into the Leaf zone. Perrant came out of the net. Cleared it on the boards. Hatfield missed a check. Rattel gets it to Hatfield. Back it comes to Park. A shot is deflected. It's a quick pass ahead for Keon offside. From inside the blue line, over the red line. Leaf player didn't wait long enough.
That is some fine work by those two linesmen, as that was a very close play, as Monahan just barely inside that blue line. Keon well over the red line to pick up that offside pass.
Keon gets the draw this time, and Monahan gives it to Pellick over to McKinney. McKinney off the boards out to center ice, and it's Brad Park going back into his own zone. Over it goes to Horton, up to Rattel for Gilbert. Flipped back by Monahan. Horton over to Brad Park. Brad Park up over the red line with a shot knocked down by McKinney. Park had it right back to him. Park over for Hatfield. McMillan goes to the corner. He's given a stroke by Hatfield. Hatfield moves in there, and then the referee, Lloyd Gilmore, moved in very quickly.
Look at number 7, Rod Gilbert. Bill, he was their leading scorer the other night, last night, with a goal and 2 assists.
Emil Francis, the coach and general manager, making a change on his defense. Perrant made a save from the blue line. Gilbert and McMillan knocked Gilbert down, and back comes Monahan. Monahan up at center with Pellick, who takes the pass over the line. Back to Monahan, a shot is wide of the target. Nielsen gets away from Keon, who lost his stick. McMillan gets in front of Nielsen. Keon right in front of that. The Monahan shot, he scores! Gary Monahan from Keon and McMillan.
Keon taking a look and seeing Monahan in that slot about 25 feet in front of that net, and Monahan wasted no time with a hard shot, beating Eddie Jackaman on his glove side.
Number 20, Gary Monahan. Number 14, Dave Keon. Number 23, Bill McMillan. The time,
13-23 was Gary Monahan's goal from McMillan, and Keon as the Maple Leafs lead by a score of 1-0. Doran shot the puck around on the boards for Dory. Stopped by Nevin to Kachuk right in front of the net. And Ellis knocked Malone down. And Ullman over to Dory. Up for Henderson. Horton broke it up, knocked it into the corner. Malone's got it, number 17, trying to center it. Dory took a shove at him. The puck is back in the net. Gone. And Kachuk bumped together. Henderson. Then to Dory. Up for Ullman. Ullman is too well covered by Malone, and Ellis knocked his check over Henderson. Ullman going in alone, right to Henderson. He scores! Henderson from Ullman, and it's 2-0.
The Leafs taking advantage of a Ranger miscue at that blue line. Ullman stealing the puck, getting it to his winger, Paul Henderson. Henderson taking it back and just deflecting it up over Eddie Jackaman on a sharp pass from Ronnie Ullman.
14-11 is the time. 5:49 remaining in the first period. 2-0 for the Toronto Maple Leafs as Henderson scores from Ullman. And for Paul Henderson, that's his third goal of the series, getting 2 last night. Sittler took a heavy check from McGregor as the puck goes into the corner. Armstrong trying to dig it out. Up for Harrison. Harrison up at center. He shot the puck into the Ranger zone. Sealing and Harrison go to the board. The puck is still in there. McGregor coming up with it. Sittler missed him with a body check. Stamkowski gets it out. Lee shoots it into the Ranger zone, and Jimmy Nielsen starts back out again. Gets it up to center. Stopped by Armstrong. Armstrong goes over the Ranger line. Left it there. Here's Sittler, a shot, and he fired wide. Harrison let one go, and that just missed the target. Sittler kept the puck in. Rod Sealing brings it back out, though, for New York at center. Up over the leaf line. He was given a shove by Sittler. Then Harrison stepped into Stamkowski. Sittler trying to get the puck out. Harrison ran into Sealing, and down go the Leafs. Two of them, one man back. Sittler to Armstrong. Going right in on goal, he shoots. Oh, and he shot wide. The puck is still in there. Here's Sittler for Armstrong again, and Park takes him into the boards, and down goes Armstrong. He's trying to center it. Armstrong's got it. Still has it. And Keon gets a hold of it. Keon passed it right to Monahan, and he shot wide. And the puck is picked up by Sather, who cleared it out to center ice, and the Leafs are really putting on terrific pressure. Monahan goes after Brad Park. He shot it around on the boards to Jobert. Gets it up to Stamkowski. Stamkowski is given a check. Hadfield gets it with 4 minutes remaining in the period. A long shot goes to Keon. Keon back of the Leaf net. Over to Dory to Baughan. Baughan had it go off the end of a stick. Rattel gets it back. McMillan knocked it into the bench. And we'll have a face-off. Police in that first period, believe it or not, 9-4. Bernie Parent very busy and playing very steadily in the nets for the Maple Leafs. And on the chances the Leafs had, they made them count, Bob, and that's what counts in the playoffs. And we'll see what the Rangers can do now as we get set to start the second period. And it's Kachuk out there with Nevin and Malone facing Hellman, Henderson, and Ellis, and it's Dory, number 8, with it. Over to Baughan. Baughan comes up to the blue line. His pass at center, broken up by Brad Park. Park is checked by Baughan, and Kachuk is checked by Ellis. Dave Malone will try his luck now in his own zone. Back to Horton. Horton goes over to Park with it. Park up over the blue line, up at center, and he shot the puck in, and Parent handled that to Dory. Jim Dory back to the net. He handed it right to Nevin. They centered it in front. It's right by the net. Baughan falls. It goes back to the goal into the corner, and Ellis has it. Ellis just finds an opening and shoots it down the ice. It's gone over the red line, and Horton will touch it. Icing is the call. This Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from Madison Square Garden in New York. Seven penalties in the first period, 4 to the Leafs and 3 to the New York Rangers. And Spencer, along with Irvin, are sitting out 5-minute majors and 10-minute misconducts. Rangers have the puck in the Leafs zone. Nevin had it, took it out over the blue line, shot it in again, and Malone was way inside the blue line. And the Leafs are starting, goalie, that real checking pattern of theirs.
Certainly a little tougher checking in tonight's game than there was evident in last night's game. I just noticing that Emile Francis has employed 5 defensemen. The only defenseman he has used up to date has been Larry Brown, and I would probably look for him to start to go to that 4-line system of his with Ron Stewart and Len Sather playing.
And the face-off, McMillan goes down over the Ranger line, tries to go through the defense, and he was squeezed out. Jackman to Nielsen. Keon took him out of the play. Jobert to Rattel off the board. Lee kept it in. Goes back of the net. Rod Sealing trying to come out now for New York. Pass it out to Hadfield. Hadfield stopped by McKinney. Picked off by McMillan to Keon. Keon takes a look. Shot it around on the boards into the corner, and Hadfield has it. Lost it to McMillan. Right in front of Keon. He scores! Keon makes it 3-0 from McMillan.
that puck taking a crazy bounce coming in behind the Ranger net. Vic Hadfield over on the left wing, not being able to pick it up properly off the boards, and Billy McMillan steering it out to Keon, and the big backhand in the net.
Toronto Maple Leafs leading the New York Rangers 3-0. As Brad Park, having difficulty, brought it in outside was Rattel. Here's the scoring play. One minute and 35 seconds was the time of Keon's goal from McMillan and McKinney. 3-0 the score. 18-17 remaining in the second period. Monahan and Henderson scoring in the first. And the Leafs have moved ahead 3-0. And Stemkowski is out there now with McGregor and Seether on the left side, as Irvin is in the penalty box still along with Spencer. Jim Dory back in his own zone. Back to the net. Taking his time. Over to Harrison. Harrison trying to pull his way out over the blue line. See if he got a piece of him. Harrison got the puck into the Ranger zone, and it's back there for Park. And it's called for icing as it was shot from the Leaf side of the center red line.
There's the Leaf veteran, George Armstrong, who has been taking a regular shift out in that right wing with Jimmy Harrison and Darryl Sittler.
Peter Stemkowski facing off with Harrison. Stemkowski 21, Harrison 12, McGregor is 14. Armstrong shot the puck over to the boards. Sittler knocking it along the boards. Goes to McGregor. McGregor is checked by Dory. Dory, a quick pass up to Harrison, too far, and Horton gets it over to McGregor. McGregor is given a bump by Harrison, and it's picked up by Sittler. Sittler up to the red line, a pass to Harrison. Harrison shot the puck in. Horton goes after it. Horton is watched by Sittler. Horton is checked. The puck is along the boards, and here comes Stemkowski, overskates it, gets it over though to Park. Park over the blue line up at center. Comes up over the Leaf line. Dropped it back to Seether. His shot hit Armstrong, and Armstrong feeds it ahead to Sittler. Sittler going down to center. Tried to tip it to Armstrong, and McGregor checked him. Then Harrison stepped into his check, and Dory shoots the puck right on Giacomo. Now then Glenn Seether coming out of his own zone. Up to his own blue line, up at center. And Dory stepped into him. Ullman over for Ellis. One man back. Ellis over the line. Waited too long, let his shot go, and it was way wide. Back come the New York Rangers. McGregor to Stemkowski. A long shot that just dribbled by Bond to Braun and gave it to Ellis. Ellis shoots it down the left wing at center, and it's picked off there by Sealing. Sealing shot it over to Nielsen. Nielsen right on a Bond stick. Bond on a Nevin, and Nevin shoots it into the Leaf zone, and the play is slowed down to a walk. The Leafs leading it 3-0. Bond falls. The puck is underneath him. That's where play ends. This Saturday and Sunday, April 10th and 11th, we'll be carrying games 3 and 4 of the Eastern Division quarterfinals. Saturday at 8 p.m. on the National Network, Boston, Montreal, while the Leafs play the Rangers on the Ontario Regional Network. Sunday at 7 p.m., the national game will be New York at Toronto, while Boston plays Montreal at 8 p.m. on the Quebec Regional Network. 3-0 for the Toronto Maple Leafs as Lee gets around into the corner to Pelech. Pelech up for Henderson. Henderson trying to work his way out to Pelech. Pelech over to Lee. Lee coming up over the red line, and he flips it into the New York Rangers zone, and it goes into the corner. Pelech takes a shot that Giacomo steered into the corner, and Nielsen's after it. And he's checked by Ullman, tried to center it. Rick Lee into the corner to Ullman again. Ullman takes a look right in front of the net for Henderson, and Nevin is after it. The Leafs nominating the play in the New York Rangers zone. Nielsen shot it around on the boards. Clear to the blue line, but not out. Ullman gets a backhand, and Giacomo steers it to the boards. Rod Sealing back of the net. Now trying to work his way out. Coming up to the blue line, a pass for Kachuk, and it went right by him, and it was offside. And from Madison Square Garden in New York, the Stanley Cup playoffs. All set and found the face-off. It goes out over the blue line. Dory handed it to Rattel. Rattel comes down over the blue line with Hatfield, and Hatfield couldn't get the pass. McMillan tried to cover him. Back of the net for Dory again. Stopped by Hatfield. Hatfield and Jobert got all tied up. McMillan gives it to Keon. Keon pulled away from Brad Park and tried to get around. Number 4, Larry Brown, is out there. Keon goes with him to the boards and play his call. But slowly the Rangers seem to have stopped skating.
They've certainly been hemmed in their own end by the Leafs all of this period. And there's a look behind that Leaf bench, and we see King Clancy and Harold Ballard directly behind Coach Johnny McCullough.
3-0 is the score in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs with 14:46 remaining in the second period. It's back of the net, Jackman. Leaving it there for Brad Park, and he just gets rid of it to center ice, and Bond shoots it right back in again. Park goes back forward into the corner. Keon tried to check him. The puck came out in front. Jobert gets it over to Hatfield. Hatfield down at center. Over the blue line, closing in. Tried to pass it. Bond stopped that. Perron covered. Keon then shot it around on the boards. McMillan stopped by Brown. The puck goes loose to Bond. Bond trying to hold it there. Hatfield gives him a shove. Hatfield fights for it. Bond's got him pinned against the board. And Hatfield and Bond go at it.
I don't know, with all this rough stuff going on down there, I think the toughest job on that ice has got to be those two linesmen who have to try and break those things up. And Red Shetler certainly having his hands full containing Vic Hatfield. Bobby Bond seems to be content to let it ride for now. But I thought the matchup prior to that was Hatfield and Billy.
Bob Bond in the penalty box. Brian Spencer's already been in there since the first period. Bond gets a 2-minute roughing penalty along with Vic Hatfield at 5:50, and so the teams will play 5-a-side. And there is Irvin in the penalty box along with Hatfield, number 11. And they're facing off to the right of Bernie Parent, and Armstrong is out there with Harrison, McKinney, and Pellick, and it's Stamkowski, McGregor, Rolfe, and Horton. Toronto Maple Leafs leading the New York Rangers 3-0 as they line up. It goes to Armstrong. Armstrong gets the puck out. Harrison went after it. Rolfe had it hit his skate, goes over to McGregor. McGregor to Stamkowski. Stamkowski now to the Leaf line. Takes a long shot. Perron stopped that. It goes to the corner. McGregor trying to center it. Only got in front of him. Stamkowski centers it out in front, and McKinney gets it. Jim McKinney goes back of the Maple Leaf goal. Passes over to Mike Pellick, number 4. Pellick breaks away to center ice. The pass over to Armstrong, over the line. Back to Pellick. Pellick took a shot, and Harrison failed to deflect it. Back up for Stamkowski. Pass stopped by McKinney. Rolfe moves over the line. Trying to get it through to Stamkowski. Broken up by Harrison. Harrison trying to get away from Rolfe over the line, takes his shot, and broke his stick. Now then, Bruce McGregor comes back for New York. Up at center, over the red line with Stamkowski over the blue line, and McGregor tried to go through, and it was broken up by McKinney. McKinney straight down the ice, over the line, for Ullman. Ullman ducked it back. McKinney over to Dory. Dory right foot to Ullman, he shoots. A great save. The puck goes loose to Dory. There's his shot, and that's wide. Goes over the far side. Ullman after it. Ullman into Ellis. Back it goes to Lee. There's his shot. Right on. Ullman takes a whack at it. It goes to the corner. Ullman's got it again. Back for Lee. Demkowski gets it out over the line. Ullman's got it. Over the blue line. Over to Dory. Dory in for Ellis, and Rolfe shot it into the corner. Ullman back of the net. Centered it. Picked off by Stamkowski. Up over the blue line. Up at center. And he fans on his shot. Gets it over the line. Dory back for it. Dory to Rick Lee. Up it goes to Ellis. Ellis at center. Vaughn is on the ice. Offside. And we have 12 minutes and 5 seconds left in the second period. 3-0 for the Maple Leafs.
Throwing tremendous pressure on the Rangers in their own end. It seems to have them just somewhat baffled as they're not able to clear that puck out, and Eddie Jackman has been called on to come up with 2 or 3 big saves.
Now then, Spencer and Ted Irvin have both been sent out of their penalty boxes. Their time is up. So the teams are back literally at full strength again as far as manpower. Jimmy Nielsen with a long shot into the corner. It came right for the net. Monahan goes after it, covers up, goes to the corner. He's being watched there by Tkachuk as the Rangers now are going to try to force the play into the Leaf zone. Maple Leafs leading 3-0.
There's number 20, Gary Monahan, left wing on that line with Dave Keon. Bill McMillan set up a nice goal. That goal of Dave Keon.
And Monahan opened the scoring as Jimmy Nielsen lets the shot go, and that was just off the target. Monahan tipped it out, and it goes down the ice, and Jimmy Nielsen's going back forward. It's not over the red line. Nielsen back of the New York Ranger net. Headmans the puck to Rattel. Rattel was given a jolt by McMillan. Back up the ice for Nielsen at center. Up to the Leaf line. The Leaf defense backed up. The rebound goes to Pellick. Pellick comes up to his own blue line up at center ice. And he shoots the puck in the New York Ranger zone, and Jackman flipped it off the glass. It's picked up by Rod Gilbert. Back to Sealing. Sealing up over his own blue line. Sealing leads the attack. Shoots the puck into the Leaf zone. Perrant to Dory. Dory stops. Up to Keon to Monahan. Monahan races down over the blue line. He was taken out of the play by Parks. Jackman to Gilbert. Jackman gets it again. Shot it off the boards to Hatfield. Hatfield brings it out to center. To the Leaf line. Hatfield crashed that Bond. And Gilbert and Monahan. Goes in after Hatfield and are at it again. Vaughn and Rattel have had enough. Gilbert is standing away, and Hatfield is still in there in the middle. Mixing it up with Harrison. And that was the big battle, although Bond wanted to get into it. Hatfield had already combed Bond, so we'll see what the penalties are. Hatfield going to the penalty bench, and so is Harris. .922. Hatfield gets 2 for high sticking Vaughn, and then a 5-minute major for fighting with Jimmy Harrison. Harrison gets a 5-minute major for fighting. 9:22 is the official time. So Hatfield and Harrison are both at the penalty bench, so the Leafs will have the man advantage on the minor penalty. So Tipper's really flaring under the pressure, Bob.
Take a look at that Leaf bench with Johnny McLeod. There's Emil the Cat Francis behind that Ranger bench, and I guess Francis is trying to figure out what he can do to get that club of his on the scoreboard. He's employed all his defensive setup now, and also every one of his forwards with the exception of Billy Fairbairn.
10 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the second period. Ullman is out there now with Henderson. Ellis. Gorey is out there, but they'll have to send somebody off. Rangers have Sather and Stewart, along with Nielsen and Rod Sealing, as Gorey leaves the ice, and it's McKenney and Lee. And they've got to get a Ranger player in to serve the minor penalty, and he's in there now, Billy Fairburn. Sather, after the puck, number 6, shot it into the Leafs zone, and Jim McKenney has it. McKenney just takes his time going slowly back of the net. Leafs with a man advantage. McKenney going up with a pass to Lee at the blue line. He moves up to the red line and shoots it into the Ranger zone. Ellis goes in after it. Jackman knocked it to the boards. Ullman tried to get to it. Sather knocked him down. And moving in was Ellis to Ullman. Ullman had it hit a leg, gets it again. He's jammed in on the boards and knocked down by Nielsen. And also moving in was Ellis and Sather. That'll mean more penalties. There's Bernie Perron. He's watching from the blue line. Sather will get a penalty. And Ellis.
Sather and Ellis. 6 and 6.
So this game is temporarily erupted here. Roughing penalties. 2 minutes. 10:01. 9:59 remaining. So they'll have to use the reserves now, Goldie.
Johnny McClellan just on the left of your picture there behind that Leaf bench. You know, it seems rather ironic, I guess, after Scotty Morrison saying this game wasn't quite as tough as the one last night. It certainly developed into one, in my opinion, every bit as hard-fought. As what happens, you get down 3-0, and you start to get a little exasperated. Nothing seems to be going right for you, and it seems to bring out probably all the worst in a hockey player. And he tries to make up for that puck not going in the net by being a little tougher.
All set to go. The Leafs with a man advantage. 5 men to 4 this time. And from the draw, McKenney shot it all the way down the ice as Lee had moved from his position. And Lee has to go back for it. Toronto Maple Leafs are leading the New York Rangers 3-0 in this second period with 9 minutes and 44 seconds to go. As Henderson comes down at center, he's up over the Ranger line. He gets it over to Ullman. Ullman stops, back to McKenney. McKenney takes a look over to Rick Lee. A shot to Henderson. It comes all the way out to the blue line. McKenney. Back to Lee again. Over for Ullman. Broken up by McGregor, and McGregor shoots it down the ice. Right to McKenney. Over it goes to Ullman. Ullman up at center. To the Ranger line. Tried to go around Brad Park. Knocked it into the corner. It goes back in the net. Henderson to Ullman. Back to Henderson. Henderson over to Rick Lee. Lee then to McKenney. McKenney fight for Ullman, and he just failed to fuck it in the corner. Ullman back to McKenney again. Over to Lee. He's getting set. Takes a shot. Oh, Henderson got the read, but not a nice save by Jackman. Horton to McGregor. Stopped by McKenney at center. Over to Henderson. Henderson coming up to the Ranger line. Is taken up by Brad Park, jammed in on the board. Here's a chance for McKenney, and McKenney was turned around. Henderson Right on to Keon. Keon trying to come out in front. He's given a shove by Horton. Back of the net for Brad Park in the New York Rangers zone. Coming down the ice. The teams are even now at 5 aside. Horton at center. A pass for Stankowski. Over the line. And he's checking. Here's a two-man break for the Leafs. Keon at center. Over the blue line. Takes his shot. Jackman stopped that. McMillan went after the rebound. And Jackman cleared it. Shot to an open wing. Picked up by Ron Stewart. Number 12. Passed it out to center ice. Dory then over for McMillan. He shot it into the New York Rangers zone. Jackman to Horton. 7:35 remaining. A pass stopped by Monahan. He kept it in. Horton gets a hold of it. Horton to Nielsen. Back to Horton. And Stemkowski was going the wrong way. Over to Nielsen. Nielsen shot it offside to Ron Stewart. 7 minutes and 21 seconds remain in the second period. Faceoff will be outside the blue line. The Rangers are making another change now, and Walter Tkachuk is out there with Nevin and Ballone. Leafs have Darryl Sittler at center ice with Spencer on the left wing and Armstrong on the right, as Harrison is serving a major penalty. Here's a chance for Brian Spencer, a hard shot, and that was off the target. The rebound went to Nielsen. He was checked by Sittler. Sittler after him. Sittler trying to get the puck away. It goes to the board. They jam after it. Finally, it's called by referee Lloyd Gilmore. .7:04 remaining in the second period.
Number 14, Dave Keon, as we notice, both coaches are making their line changes much quicker.
On the face-off, Monahan tried to slip it through, broken up by the New York Rangers, and it's Nielsen clearing it way too far for Nevin. Nevin tried to catch up with it. Dory was checked. The puck is loose in the Leaf zone for Ballone. Passed it right on a McMillan stick. McMillan for Keon. Back for McMillan. They're over the line. Keon takes the pass, and he couldn't get his shot away. Now McMillan coming out in front. Trying to get his shot away and couldn't. Now he's got it again. Takes a shot, and that goes over the glass. 6 minutes and 33 seconds left, second period. 3-0 Toronto.
And this Ranger crowd starting to get on their local hockey club as they seem to be playing that puck in their own end, and we saw them make 2 or 3 passes at the puck when Billy McMillan had it, and only a deflection saved Eddie Jackman from having to come up with another big save off the stick of Bill McMillan.
Ullman, Allison, Henderson, McKinney, and Pellick. New York Rangers have Sather, Rattel, and Gilbert, as Hatfield is in the penalty box, serving a major penalty. Ullman trying to steal the puck from Brown. Brown was partially checked. Ullman's after him. Henderson tried to keep it in. Gilbert finally brings it to the blue line, a center ice to Rattel. And it couldn't get any further than the Leaf line as McKinney. It's over the line. It's tried to get through, and it's Gilbert getting back. Now then Rod Gilbert had to go off his stick. And the Rangers having difficulty carrying the puck. Brown comes up now to center. Shot it into the Leaf zone. Cleared off to the wing. Gilbert gets it back to Brad Park. There's a shot, and that is deflected wide. Ullman trying to get it out. Ellis helps him out by going back into his own zone over here to Pellick, to McKinney. Coming up at center, a pass for Ullman, and that goes into the corner. Ullman after it, center, right in front of that. Here's McKinney getting set. He shoots. Oh, that's just wide. Ullman trying to center it again. Picked off by Brad Park to Rattel. Rattel shot it up for Gilbert. Too far. It's going over the red line. Pellick will touch it. Icing is the call again. Out-of-town scoreboard, Montreal at Boston. It's Boston leading 2-1. Oren Green scoring and Cornway for the Canadians. And, of course, it's 3-0 here for the Maple Leafs as Armstrong centered it right in front of the net. Armstrong gets it back with a backhand. Broken up by Dale Rolfe. Rolfe gets up to center ice, gets up to the Leaf line. Trying to go around Bond. Centered it across the goal mode. Darryl Sittler covers McGregor, and they hold it against the boards for a faceoff.
Number 14, Bruce McGregor, who was picked up by the Rangers in mid-season in a trade with Detroit, and he certainly come to life with the Rangers in a goal-scoring way.
4 minutes and 49 seconds remain in the second period. 3-0 for the Maple Leafs. Horton kept the puck in for the New York Rangers. Bond goes back of the net. Round the boards it goes to Armstrong. Armstrong kept it out. Harrison races after it. Horton tries to get it out. Does to center, but there's nobody there. And Bond takes his time and lets the shot go to the corner. Round goes to Jackson. Tim Horton now in possession. New York Rangers. Pass up to Peter Stamkowski, number 21 at center. Long shot. Off the boards. Perrott to Darryl Sittler. He's checked, and set it went by Dory. Here's Horton getting set for a shot at Harrison. Harrison to Armstrong. Out for Dory. Dory over the line. It's knocked back again. Sittler losing it to McGregor. Bruce McGregor to Horton. Back up for McGregor. Over the line. Sittler knocked it into the corner. It comes back for Horton. There's his shot. It's more!
That puck coming back to the Ranger point from McGregor. Tim Horton with a hard slap shot on a deflection going between Bernie Perrott's legs.
Toronto 3, New York Rangers 1. Horton scoring, and that brings the crowd back to life here as the puck goes and outside at the New York Ranger blue line. .11 is the time of the goal. Horton from Stamkowski and McGregor. The puck goes to Pelech. Over to Lee. Lee back to Pelech. Up it comes to Monahan. Monahan to McMillan. He shot the puck into the New York Rangers zone. It goes to the corner. Nielsen shoots it around on the boards for Walter Tkachuk. Tkachuk coming out. Shoots the puck into the Leaf zone. Rick Lee. Unable to get it out here. It's in front of the net. And Tkachuk was taken out of the play by Pelech and Keon. Off the boards for McMillan. Rangers keep it in. Knocked down by Pelech. It hit McMillan, but not out. Walter Tkachuk keeps it in for the Rangers. A shot for Nevin. Pelech cleared it to the blue line and out. Nielsen covered along the boards. It's Tkachuk and Lee bumping together. Tkachuk trying to cut in. Still has it for New York. Trying to center it. It goes loose. The Leafs can't get it out. Sealing a shot, and that's wide. Lee can't get it out. It goes to the blue line. Rangers shoot the puck in. Evans got it. Knocked it into the corner. Tkachuk after it. He's jammed against the boards. Evans got it. Evan back to the net. Here's right foot for the loon. Haggett comes to the blue line. Here comes the shot. And that goes to the corner. Evans centered it. Going to be a penalty to the Leafs. There's the shot. Right foot. And Perrott covers up. Mike Pelech of the Leafs gets the gate. .17:52 is the time of the cross-checking penalty, and Bernie Perrott is over for repairs to his left pad.
That Ranger line of Walter Tkachuk, at center certainly had all the pressure on the Leafs in their own end. Bernie Braun having to come up with two good saves. The final one on the deflection coming off that left wing from Dave Malone as he almost stuck it in the side past Bernie Braun, but Mike Pellick drawing a cross-checking penalty as the traffic was pretty heavy in front of that Leaf net. And we saw just a reversal of what had happened to Rangers earlier in the period. Leafs unable to get the puck, get control of it in their own end and get it out over the blue line.
Well, Bernie Parent comes back to the net with 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the second period. Toronto Maple Leafs 3, New York Rangers 1. And the fans here in Madison Square Garden finally starting to blow the lid off this place as they're trying to rally the Rangers. Dennis Dupere out there. McGregor gets it back to the blue line. It comes over here to Gilbert. A shot. That's right of the target. Stanfield sends it across the goal mouth. And Dupere shoots it down the ice. Going back for it is Brad Park. Rangers now coming out of their own zone. Brad Park at his own blue line up at center. Got it over the line for Rattel. It comes back to Hatfield. The shot. That's high. Gilbert is bumped. Dory gets it down the ice. Going back for it is Park. 1:28 remaining in the second period. Here comes Park now out of his own zone with Hatfield up at center. Offside was Jean Rattel. And the faceoff will come back to where the pass was made, just over the red line. Monahan, Henderson, Keon, and Horton have been the goal scorers in this game so far. Pellick is serving a penalty for cross-checking, and he has a minute and 11 seconds remaining. McGregor. Back to Gilbert. Gilbert up at center. Flipped it over on the left wing. Back for Gilbert and Rattel. Rattel in the corner. Gets it back to McGregor. McGregor takes the shot. And Dennis Dupere lifts the high one down the ice. Less than a minute to go in the second period, and it's Gilbert winding up. Pass over to McGregor. McGregor coming over the line, trying to go around Dory. Got it right on the net, and that was cut by Perron, and he holds it out with Hatfield standing right in the doorstep. Rangers outshot the Leafs 9-4 in the first period. The Leafs seem to have them in check in this second. The Rangers have broken on the scoring column. Here's a quick pass out to Keon. Keon going down over the line with McMillan. One man back. Keon takes his shot. McMillan tried to get the rebound. Lee moved up and knocked the puck into the corner. 14 seconds remaining in the period. Horton, a pass over to Malone. Malone, a pass for Nevin behind him. It's right there at the blue line. It's tipped back to McKinney. McKinney with it with 2 seconds left. Gets it over. There goes the buzzer. And the second period is over. From Madison Square Garden in New York, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Teams are on the ice now for the third period. Bernie Parent getting set in the nets for the Toronto Maple Leafs, getting a tap on the pads from his teammates, and likewise at the other end for Eddie Giacomin as the players now file off the ice to their respective benches, and we're just about set to get underway.
Yeah, I'd like to just comment on how well both these games have been handled last night by referee Art Stove and tonight by referee Lloyd Gilmer. They've certainly kept both games well in hand.
Certainly have, goalie, and all augurs well for the rest of the playoffs. Now we're all set to start this crucial third period with the Toronto Maple Leafs leading the New York Rangers 3-1 and trailing in the series 1-0. Rob Vaughn takes a long shot. Offside was Ronnie Ellis. And we'll have a face-off outside the blue line. And goalie, the Rangers will have to take all the chances in this period.
Well, they're uphill now. They've got to come to the Leafs being down 2 goals, and that means they're going to have to open up and leave themselves open.
All set to go. Walter Tkachuk with Dave Ballone and Bob Nevin. It goes to Baun. Baun hit Elman on the skate. It goes into the New York Rangers zone. Sealing back there for it. Sealing into the corner. Now he starts out with a pass to Walter Tkachuk. Tkachuk coming up to the blue line. A pass back to Sealing. Sealing moves up with a shot. Broken up by Dory. And quick pass for Ullman. He's getting into the clear. He shoots. Oh, hit the goal post. Ullman hit the goal post. Back come the New York Rangers. Nielsen clearing it over the line. Baun cleared it out. Sealing brings it back up again and shoots into the Leaf zone. Back for it is Dory. Dory stays back of the net. Now he's coming out slowly over to Baun. Baun moves up to center. He gets over the red line, was hit. Connor Tkachuk comes back. Dory's back. Tkachuk trying to get set for a shot. Goes to the corner. Gets away from Dory. Goes back to the net. Comes out in front with a shot. Perron stopped that. Another shot. And Nevin couldn't put it in the empty side. Into the blue line, but not out. A shot by Park. And it goes into the seats.
Record that may never be broken.
A long shot was wide of the Ranger net. Goes into the corner. Brad Park after it. Back of the goal. Number 2. He's out there with Horton, Tkachuk, Ballone, and Nevin. Up the ice for Horton. The pass is stopped by McKinney and shot back to the New York Ranger blue line. Brad Park after it. Dropped it to Horton. Horton starts up now for the New York Rangers. Getting up to center. Ullman after him, but he gets the puck into the Maple Leaf zone. And the Leafs are first back for it. McKinney, a quick pass. It's knocked out. Ullman racing after it. Jackman shooting it off the boards out to Nevin. Nevin's pass for Ballone. Ballone in the Leaf zone. Into the corner to Nevin. Nevin centered it. Henderson for Ellis. And he's checked. Nevin covered by McKinney. The puck is loose. It went out over the blue line. Cleared in. Henderson brings it out. Henderson up the center. A pass for Ellis into the Ranger zone. Brad Park goes back for it. Ackerman was given a jolt as Ellis was squeezed out. Brad Park back at center up over the blue line at Tkachuk. Had to go through the fence. There'll be a penalty here to the Leafs. A tripping penalty is handed out, and the Leafs will be shorthanded. Goes back to the blue line, a shot by the Rangers, and Perron made the save. It's shot down the ice by Dennis DePere. And Jackman leaves it there for Jimmy Nielsen. 10:53 remaining in regulation time. 3-1 for the Maple Leafs. Rangers with a man advantage with Baun in the penalty box. Dennis DePere back of the net. It goes to McKinney. McKinney shoots it down the ice. Going back for it is Jimmy Nielsen. Now it's Walter Tkachuk, number 18 at center, over the red line. Flips it in. Perron shoots it, but not out. It's cleared by Dennis DePere. A race for the puck. Park and DePere going after it, and Park beat him to it. Back come the Rangers again. Brad Park. Offside was Hatfield. Face-off will be outside the blue line. 10:07 left in regulation time. Keon McMillan out there, and Bob Baun has 58 seconds left in his penalty. Rattel now with Sather and Gilbert, along with Horton and Sealing. Horton over on the right side for Gilbert. Keon mapped it down the ice. Horton back for it. To Rattel, back to Horton. Horton gets it back to Rattel coming up at center. A long pass knocked down by Dory. Dory gets over center. Shot it to an open wing. McMillan. Then backhand and puck back into the New York Rangers zone, and Sealing has it. Over it goes to Horton. Up for Gilbert. Right on to McMillan's stick. And he shot it right back down the ice. 15 seconds left on the penalty to Bond. Up the ice for Horton. Up at center. Back to Rattel. Goes into the corner. Rick Lee after it. Sather centered it. Jim Dory bringing it out as Bond is back on the ice. A pass up for Bond. Into the Rangers zone. Jammed in on the boards. Sather after it. Keon watching him. Now it's Sather. At his own blue line. Up at center. To the Leaf line. Dropped it for Rattel. Shot it in, and Perrott knocked it off to Dory. To Henderson. Up to Ullman. Back to Henderson. Back to Ullman. And he took his shot wide. Ullman trying to center it. He's too well covered, and Horton's got it. The pass stopped by Henderson. Ullman let it go. Great save. Cleared back down the ice into the Leaf zone, and Rick Lee has it. Lee ahead to Ullman. Got it over the line. It's broken up by the New York Rangers. Irvin giving it to Rolfe. Over to Brad Park. Up to Stemkowski. Broken up. Henderson scores! Henderson caught the top left-hand corner, and it's 4-1.
That looks like the one that broke the back as Peter Stemkowski lost that puck off his stick. Paul Henderson moving in quickly off his wing with a hard slap shot up over Eddie Jackman's left shoulder into that top right-hand corner.
On the scoreboard now, it's 4-1. 11:53, Henderson unassisted. And there's a look at the Maple Leaf bench, and now on the face-off. The Toronto Maple Leafs lead 4-1. A long shot. Bernie Perrott's got that. He gives it to Mike Pelech. Pelech coming out. Up the center. Got the puck into the Ranger zone. Harrison goes in cruising. Jackman got it to the corner. Irvin gives it to Rolfe. Rolfe to Stemkowski. He shot it in. A rebound off the boards. McGregor took a shot. Then Perrott lost his glove, but he's got the puck underneath him, and that could have been a serious collision. Bob?
Oh, Bernie Perrott coming out to field that puck as Peter Stemkowski playing those backboards. Bruce McGregor jumping in there, and he come out on a tremendous angle and blocked the puck. And there's Jacques Plante shouting encouragement to his teammates, much as Bernie Perrott did last night.
Toronto Maple Leafs 4, New York Rangers 1, 7:35 remaining in the third period. And right away, goalie, they get on Peter Stemkowski as he leaves the ice.
See, Emil Francis has got Billy Fairbairn out on that wing. He's moved Bruce McGregor back into center and Glenn Sather on left wing, and that's a brand new combination.
Right, and found the face-off. The puck goes to Dory. Dory gives it to Keon. Up for McMillan with Monahan. McMillan having difficulty. Offside. He was ahead of the puck. Came in behind him, and that means it's offside and outside the blue line for the face-off. Keon, Monahan, McMillan, Dory, and Bond. All set to go. The puck is dropped. It goes over to Dory. Jim Dory at his own blue line. His pass intercepted by McGregor. He's trying to get into the clear, and he was knocked down by Bond. It's cleared to Keon. Keon brings it back out again to center. Flipped it over the line, and Sealing gets it out. Dory gets it over to Bond. Shoots it wide of the net. Sealing goes back for it. Rod Sealing to Bruce McGregor. Coming out over the blue line to center. Flipped it in. Perrott's got it. Into the corner. Dory Holds it with his skates, as you can see there, and then we'll have a face-off in the Leaf zone. Ullman, Ellis, and Henderson. Forward to Duke. The puck goes loose. Here's Rolfe moving up for a shot. And Perrant got his glove on it. It's near the net again. Poked back at the goal. McKinney digs it out. Still has it. Gets it back for Ullman. Nevin goes into the corner. Got it back to Malone. He tried to center it. Ellis. Up to Henderson. Going down with Ullman. One man back. They're going over the line again. Back for Ullman. And Ullman waited too long. And Tkachuk came from nowhere to make a nice play. Nevin just shoots the puck into the Leaf zone. Jim McKinney. A pass up for Ullman. Ullman races after it into the Rangers zone. Took his shot wide of the net. Rolfe takes him to the boards. Rolfe goes down. Ullman gives it to Ellis. Centered it out in front of the net. Rick Lee faked the shot. Now he's getting set for a backhand. Centered it. Henderson and Ellis, with Ellis missing it. Bob Nevin up to Dave Malone at center. Up over the blue line. A shot. Perrant stopped that. Nevin gets it. Centered it right in front. And a great save again by Perrant as Ullman gets it up to Ellis. Ellis flips the puck in wide of the net. Back up for Brad Park. Trying to get around Harrison. Shot it over the line for Hatfield, and he was checked. Harry Brown, number 4, up for Hatfield. He's being watched by Armstrong. And Hatfield was given a terrific jolt from Harrison. Bob Vaughn took a shot. Now it's Brad Park. Over for Gilbert. Back to Brown. Long shot. Perrant gloved that. Gives it to Dory. Dory. Back to the net. Into the corner. Off the board, and Harrison and Hatfield. Hatfield and Harrison were the two main ones.
All I can say about that fighting, all I know of, it doesn't help you financially, and all it does is tire you out. And Bernie Perrant and Eddie Giacomo will both be, I imagine, receiving little reminders from I'm trying to figure out which is the preliminary and which is the main bout out here, as Darrell Sittler and Brad Parker are hanging on pretty tight at that blue line. And I think Lloyd Gilmer is giving them some good fatherly advice. You know, let's stop this or you won't be around on Saturday night.
They've got Jack Plon over the boards, and he's staying there. In the midst of all that fracas, Bill, one of the Ranger players threw Bernie Perront's face mask up into the crowd, and I doubt very much if he'll get it back, and I just wonder if the goaltenders carry a spare mask. I would imagine they do, but...
well, let's hope he gets it back, because, you know, you get used to one mask, and...
That's Bernie Perront trying to tell referee Lloyd Gilmore.
Well, the police are moving in and trying to find it. Quite a congregation over by the boards there. There must be at least 15 or 20 policemen there now, at least.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what all this fighting proves. We had a pretty good hockey game going along here till this broke out. Lots of good end-to-end rush, lots of good goaltending, good shooting, and then all of a sudden it developed into that Pier 5 thing, and it still hasn't accomplished anything or proven anything. And Frank King Clancy is down there now. There he is, leaning over the boards. You can see him there beside the policeman, pointing and talking to someone out there. And I guess it's regarding Perront's face mask. One thing for sure, wherever you find the action, where you find King Clancy.
Well, I think he's trying to help get that face mask somehow. He's certainly got lots of protection. I think they definitely want that mask back, because you know how goalkeepers get used to equipment, Bob. You've been in the National Hockey League. You know what your skates are mean to you, what your hockey sticks, your
That's
pads.
definitely true. Bernie Perront, that's the mask he's been using all night, possibly the mask he's been using for the last couple of seasons. And
the referee is coming over to the Sports Timers bench, and there's going to be an announcement. Bernie Perront has gone off the ice. The Leafs are all over at the bench. Referee is talking to the captain of the New York Rangers. And they're going to put Jacques Plante in goal. Now they're warming up Jacques Plante here for the last 4 minutes and 42 seconds of regulation time. Toronto leading by a score of 4-1. Jacques Plante's all ready to go, and the faceoff will be in the Maple Leaf zone. Hatfield and Harrison are through. We have 4 minutes and 42 seconds remaining. And that's in regulation time. Now the Rangers have got Fairburn out with Irvin and Sather, along with Nielsen and Horton. On the face-off, the puck went to the corner. Back of the net, it's shot out over the blue line, out to center ice and down into the New York Rangers zone. Going back for it is Tim Horton. Horton starting out, passed it to an open wing. Sather comes down at center to the leaf line, tried to jump through to the bench. Good a shot, blocked by back. Army Elman gets a hold of the puck. Up for Dory. It's shot into the board. Dory goes after Irvin. Now they gave him a high stick. Dory goes after Irvin. Now there's an empty Ranger bench. And we'll take a look at the Leaf bench, and it's all empty too.
Incidentally, Brad Clark and Darryl Sittler, who were in the penalty box, both left the penalty box to join into this. So I guess the league will receive a lot more money in fines after this. And to me, I can't describe it as anything more than some pretty bad display of hockey to see that happen, especially in any kind of a game, more so in a playoff game.
That's Rick Lee and Jim Dory.
Now, just before that all started, Dory had been signaled for a 2-minute penalty.
The score is 4-1 for the Maple Leafs with 4 minutes and 8 seconds left. McMillan talking to Jacques Plante. Plante was right in the middle of it, and he doesn't usually get in anything. And there's Bobby Nevin, the captain of the New York Rangers, talking to the referee, Lloyd Gilmore. And certainly, their referee certainly deserved a better fate than this, the way he was handling this game.
Well, Gilmore's been doing a great job as far as that is concerned, and I don't know how anyone could have prevented that. You could see it coming, and just seemed that certain players in each team were looking for the other guy, and sooner or later it had to explode. I didn't think it would get to the extent that both benches would be cleared.
Brad Park. 2 minutes and a game misconduct.
2 for what? 2 minutes for what? 2 minutes for what? Just 2?
2 minutes for leaving the penalty bench, joining an altercation, and a game misconduct. Got it all?
Yeah.
Everybody else goes on report, including the goalkeepers. The ones that left the bench and the ones that left their crease.
The New York guy left the bench as well.
Yeah, but the first guy that leaves is the one that counts.
All right. Line.
Brad Clark got a 2-minute penalty from leaving the bench, the penalty bench.
Well, you can hear the rest of the discussion there. They're all on report. The one that I guess is going to suffer the most is the first one that left the bench to start the whole flood of players out there. And I didn't pick out which bench the first player came from, but it didn't take long before they were all out there.
Game misconduct had it up there. Dory's in the penalty box. Irvin. 2 minutes for, and 5 minutes for fighting. 2 minutes for high sticking and 5 minutes for fighting. Brad Park gets 2 minutes for leaving the penalty bench and a game misconduct. So 15-52. Dory, Sittler, Irvin, Park. We've run out of figuring out what we're all serving penalties for what. Now here's Nielsen, a shot. That was stopped by Lee. Lee clears it back to Vaughn. Vaughn back of the net. Over to Rick Lee. Got it over onto the right wing. Sealing kept it in. Trying to get around Ullman. Does. Sent it back to Nielsen. The shot goes into the corner. Rick Lee and Sealing bump there together. Army Ullman brings it out. Ullman coming up the center. Got it into the corner. Jackman shoots it back to the net. Nielsen after it. Ullman after him. Nielsen has it with 3:24 left. Now he comes out over his own line, up the center, to the leaf line. Dropped it there. Sealing cleared it around on the board, but there was nobody there. Rick Lee just takes his time. Up for Ullman. Ullman dropped it back to Lee, over to Vaughn. Vaughn gets it back to Rick Lee. Lee at the blue line, a pass over to Vaughn. Vaughn over the red line. Flipped it over for Ullman. Ullman. He's jumped by Rolfe, and the puck goes loose to Tkachuk. Tkachuk coming up with Sealing and Rolfe, the three of them closing in offside. 2:37 left. And it's 4-1 here for the Maple Leafs with 2:37 left. Keon dropping it back to Pelech. Pelech over to McKinney. Back to Pelech. Takes his time. Back to Keon. Keon to the blue line. To McKinney. And McKinney just wastes time. Over to Pelech. Back to McKinney. Then to Keon. Keon to Pelech. To Keon. Over for McKinney. Spencer comes out on the ice. Puck is shot up to Trottier. Trottier gets it out over the line. Gilbert brought it in offside. One minute, 57 seconds remaining. All set to go. The puck picked up by Keon. Keon, as the teams are now back at full strength, gets it over to Pelech. Pelech comes up at center. Pass for McMillan, and Keon gets it back to McKinney. Over it goes to Pelech. Up the center. He takes a long shot. Jackman stopped that. Rolfe cleared it around for Glenn Sather on the left side, number 6. Ahead to Rattel. Over the line, offside. A minute and 27 seconds left. Round of 4. New York Rangers 1. Rattel, number 19, stays out there. At center with Gilbert and Sather. Now they're going to make a change. Stemkowski with McGregor and Stewart. Sealing and Nielsen. Puck goes back to Nielsen. Nielsen gets it over to Sealing. Sealing's shot goes into the corner. Plot leaves it to Armstrong. Armstrong is given a jolt. It comes back to Nielsen. Nielsen and Armstrong bump together. It's cleared to the blue line and out at center ice. And Stewart's back there for it, number 12. Over it goes to Sealing. Sealing flips one in. Plot leaves it there. Quickly it's checked. Rangers back to that pass in front of the goal, and it's picked off by Ullman. Up to Armstrong. A long shot, right on. Jackman caught that. Ullman centered it. Jackman cleared it back to Nielsen. 45 seconds left. Toronto Maple Leafs leading 4-1. Armstrong gets the puck. He's covered by Stemkowski. It goes over to Spencer. Spencer down the left wing. Gets it over the line. Still fights for it. It goes to the corner. McGregor is watched by Spencer and plays ball as Ullman is given a jolt. 23 seconds remaining. Keon out there with Monahan and McMillan. A shot right on Jackman. The puck is loose and a shot by Keon just missed the corner. Another shot. And it goes to the corner this time and it's cleared to the blue line but not out. Vaughn let one go wide. Monahan goes after it. He shot it into the corner. After it is Malone. Passed it out on the wing for Nevin. Keon skates back to center. Goes all the way back into his own zone. There he goes. The game is over. And the Toronto Maple Leafs defeat the New York Rangers by a score of 4-1.